Hello YouTube, welcome back. We got some new updates on the Dreamcade replay. Yesterday there was another update on the Dreamcade replay and I'm very bullish about this device. Have a peep at the description below. I'm going to post a playlist with all the previous Dreamcade replay videos I've done in the past because I've done quite a few. I was just watching, we did the whole tour. You can learn about the CEO. They are going to be doing pre-sales again, so if you do want to get your hands on a unit, that will be available again. And then for this next segment of the video, I want to compare this to the second best single board computer out right now, which is the Odroid, which a lot of people are talking about, and I want to compare the two because to me these are kind of the two hottest emulation devices on the market right now. Taking a quicker look or closer look at the specs, you'll see that the Dreamcade replay has a faster processor when it's in turbo, better GPU speeds when it's in turbo, double the RAM, 4 gigs versus 2 gigabytes of RAM. The Dreamcade replay comes with a case, Odroid does not. Dreamcade replay comes with a power supply, Odroid does not. Dreamcade replay comes with software installed already for you, Odroid does not. However, Odroid is getting RetroPie and Recall Box support, so that is a point for them. The Dreamcade replay is coming with 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, and not only that, you can add a SSD or a micro SD, which is the same as the Odroid, but the 32 gig, that's about a $10 value for a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, so awesome there. So by the time you add the case, the power supply, and then you put the price side to side, Dreamcade replay $100 plus shipping, the Odroid about $60, $65, $70 with shipping, but then you add the power supply, you add the case, you add the 32 gigabyte micro SD card, you're just about within a $10 to $20 difference. This isn't all gravy. The two things I'm a little concerned about just right off the bat is one, I don't know if we're going to get this in March or not, because they wrote in this update here that it will be releasing, they're going to sign the purchase order sometime in around Chinese New Year, before Chinese New Year. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with how Chinese manufacturing works, or the China and China culture, is they really do shut down for New Year's. Just like in the US, most places are closed the day after Christmas, and between Christmas and New Year, not a lot of work gets done in the US. So think about it similar in China, not a lot of work gets done in that amount of time. So in my mind, if they sign the purchase order, then there's Chinese New Year, then things start to ramp back up, and then they have to get it shipped back to California from China. I don't see them getting the units for at least 2 weeks if they're fast, probably more like 3 weeks after Chinese New Year. So it's going to push them to the mid-March mark. And even if they package really quick and ship them out, I would say you probably aren't going to see these units till end of March and April. But that's just a guess. That's my opinion based on the timeline I see. They could have some sort of magic trick up their sleeve. We'll see about that. Now, I am excited. They do say that they're going to be sending out review units around the end of the month, beginning of February. I am supposed to be on that list, so hey, if you guys are watching, make sure you send me a unit. I'm really excited about that. I don't really care if it has the case. I'm not big on the case, but I would love to see this Apollo Lake 2.4 gigahertz, 4 gigabytes of RAM with the operating system on there so we can start getting some emulation specs going on, see what we're going to be able to run. But based on the Odroid and based on some similar units, running Dreamcast and Nintendo 64 is going to be no problem at all. It's going to be pushing those limits where it'll be interesting to see what it could do. The other thing I'm excited about is, it will be a streaming device. Something that I don't really like about the Raspberry Pi 3 is like Kodi and Netflix. Yeah, it works, but it's not that great. So to have this box that you can hook up to your TV and actually have some capabilities above what we've seen so far, I'm a little excited about that as well. Now, the design, so there is two designs here. You see two photos in front of you. They have two factories because if you read here, basically the way it works in China is there's sometimes like a bait and switch where you'll send them the specs, they'll do the blueprints for you, and then you go to produce and they're like, oh, you know what? Now that we're looking at this 4 gigabytes of RAM is actually going to be a $10 per unit surcharge. And then they kind of, if this is your only factory and you have a deadline to hit, you're going to pay or negotiate that pay difference. So what they're doing is to keep the negotiation process open, is they're continuing to move forward with two factories, and that way if one factory tries to pull something, they can go with the other. Now, what that does though is offer two different designs, and we don't know which design we're going to get. They both kind of have this honeycomb look, but then within that honeycomb look, you might have on the top and the bottom ventilation, or you might have on the right and the left ventilation. We don't know what's going to happen yet. Most people I see on comments and myself would prefer a left to right ventilation, just because I feel like a lot of people stack things on top of the units, or they stick them into somewhere where typically the vertical space is lacking, usually not horizontal space. And then if you put like your can of soda, well, you probably shouldn't put a can of soda on there, but you put like, I don't know, a book or a remote or a controller on top of it, you could potentially block the airflow. And when this thing's running on turbo clock, you're going to want to make sure you have the fan opening open so this thing could keep cool. So there you go. That's the update. To me, the biggest points to review is awesome that it's on schedule still. Awesome that the review units are coming out soon. I'd love to make more videos so we can actually see real performance on the unit itself. I'm excited that it does have the 32 gigabytes of onboard space and 4 gigabytes DDR3, and we are going to get that Apollo Lake processor. So really cool to see all that. Really cool to see more and more and more come out. Nice to see that it'll be a Samsung internal storage. You know, great brand. I've had nothing but good things to say about Samsung. So we're really seeing this thing shape up to get some high quality stuff. So great to see. Let's see what happens next. Let me know if you guys got any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.